Welcome back to Nexus Gaming Series Season 2. I am Bludgeon, coming to you live with a Division A matchup between 2+2 and Reality Esports. This is game number 2 of the series. 2+2 took game number 1, which was on Infernal Shrines, and they have selected Sky Temple for this map. And looks like Malthael being banned once again right off the bat by 2+2. They did the same thing in game number 1, rather. Obviously, something about that champion that they just are not looking to go against. And we've seen Abathur being banned out against Reality. Sorry. Yeah, Reality having banned the Malthael. 2+2 this time actually banning the Abathur. Interesting matchup last game. We saw definitely a difference in strategies for the team. Reality going with a big global focus with the Dahaka and Falstad and a single support, whereas last game 2+2 went with a double support, very strong team fight comp. And it looked like Reality never really was able to take full advantage of that global presence, having to just stay kind of on the back foot most of the game. However, interesting picks coming out here. Garrosh was actually banned last game against 2+2. This time they're deciding that it's not banned, so they're going to pick it up. And we see Reality picking up ETC and Tassadar, which were just champions we saw used against them in the last game to great effect. So perhaps Reality going for a bit of, if you can't beat them, join them on this map. Going through a couple things to get you up to speed with the teams. If you're just tuning in, 2+2 currently sitting at the top of the standings for Division A with 12 points, which they get from having won 4 of their matches. And Reality Esports a little bit lower in the standings, currently sitting on 5 points. And wow, double support once again for 2+2. So they're obviously very comfortable with that style of play. Picking up the Lieutenant Morales once again and grabbing the Uther for themselves this time, which can be an extremely annoying combination with Garrosh. If Garrosh can get a grab onto someone and a throw, Uther is just standing ready to just hammer them right in the face, and watch as the team kind of beats the hell out of them while they're standing there confused. It's a fairly brutal strategy, not one that would normally be considered fairly honorable in the real world, but in the Nexus, anything goes. Looks like Reality deciding what they want to ban now against 2+2. Already knowing they're going for that double support composition. Deciding what they don't want to face, and we're going to see what it is in just now. Cassia. Interesting. I don't know enough about these teams to say whether that's something that Reality is particularly afraid of, or whether 2+2 is particularly good at. Obviously, Cassie is a champion that can synergize well with blinds, so there's a chance that perhaps Reality is looking to go for some auto attackers, and they don't want anyone blinded, and they don't want to enable a blind composition. Not sure. You see a Tracer being hovered for a ban right now by 2+2. But these teams have generally been taking their time with these picks and bans. Certainly nothing wrong with that. It gives your team extra time to discuss the match, anything you want to talk about, whether it's related to this current pick or not. And they do go ahead and ban the Tracer. They don't want that Tracer dancing around annoying them, and I can understand that very well. So far, the only global that's been picked is the potential ETC. Sky Temple, obviously a map, a very large map with a lot of things going on in the top and the bottom. Obviously nice to be able to traverse that distance quickly. Last match we saw Dahaka and Falstad picked up very early. So far they passed through this ban and pick phase unbanned and unpicked. Alright, so Brightwing now coming in. A little bit of that global presence I was just talking about. And Vala, once again, for Reality. It's a champion they seem to be comfortable with. Tassadar to back that up. and a Brightwing. So interesting, Brightwing being chosen here with the Tassadar. So no real strong, spot heals, but pretty good kind of persistent, just keeping everybody healthy sort of style here. So we do see the double support actually being picked up by Reality this time, deciding once again, perhaps, if you can't beat them, join them. Sky Temple is the map. What does 2+2 decide are the best picks for this one? We're just going to have to wait and see. Just looking at the skins right now, I'm going to say that I'm pretty happy with everybody's choices. Right now, 2+2, I'd say, is 3 for 3 on cool skins, whereas Reality is maybe 3 out of 4. Nothing too special about that Brightwing. Wow, Sonya and Greymane coming in. So we saw last game, Sonya was used to great effect. Tythel just whipping and spinning through that enemy team, even though the Uther was there to stop her. And this time, Uther is on her side. So I can only imagine that she'll be having even more fun this game. And the Greymane. So a lot of damage coming out in those last 2 picks for 2+2. What will Reality decide to come back with? Not too sure. They're going to need some more damage of some kind. Obviously, right now, a lot of pressure being put on Vala.
Reckoning is at hand.
And it's going to stay that way as Tyrael comes out as the final pick for Reality. So going for a double tank setup, ETC Tyrael. Very strong front line. Obviously, Tyrael able to protect his team with that one heroic sanctification, I believe it's called. Otherwise, Judgment able to jump onto somebody. So yeah, a lot of the responsibility obviously falling onto the shoulders of Vala to get damage out for Reality. And we will be right back with game number 2 in this match right after this map loads. Don't touch that dial. All right, welcome back. This is game number 2 in a Division A series between Reality Esports and 2+2. Looking at the team lineups, we've got Tythel on ETC, Gretor on Brightwing, Axon on Tassadar, Skygam on Vala, and McNulty on Tyrael. Looks like I actually have the team backwards here. Let me just fix this. We seem to have switched things up. So it's actually 2+2 on the left here, and we do have a game pause. Okay, so all that time in the draft, I was actually talking as if the teams were the other side because they switched it on me during picks and bans. So actually, it's 2+2 on the left side and Reality on the right side. 2+2 having won the first game in the series. If they can win another one, that'll be another 3 points to add to their 12 already top standing in the league. Reality looking for a boost from their current 5 points, although at this point, best they can hope for is 1 point if they can win this game. Still, obviously, a lot better than 0 and a lot better than giving 3 over to 2+2. 2+2, a team that's been consistently successful in the Nexus Gaming Series. In Season 1 of NGS, 2+2 made it all the way to the finals. However, they were not quite able to take that, losing in a 3-1 matchup to... I forget the name of the other team. But anyway, they came very close, all the way to the finals, managed to take a game, the first game of that series, and then lost. All right, we're back into the game here.
Let your battle.
Over on the red side, we have Reality Esports, Magnetic on Garrosh, Real Rad Dad on Sonya, Tay on Uther, Matt 407 on Greymane, and Infofox coming in on Lieutenant Morales. teams deciding to split across this map in fairly different ways. 2+2 going all over the place, whereas Reality keeping to a bit more of a clustered up composition, closer to each other across the map. Obviously, everybody wanting to get some soak of XP right off the bat. And we do not see any big fights to start things off. Skygum took a bit of damage this time, but nothing too serious. So with the teams on the right sides now, we can see that 2+2 has taken a few of the picks that worked for them last time. ETC, although it's a different player actually on that hero this game. Tithel was on Sonya last game, and it was actually McNulty who was playing ETC. This game, McNulty is going to take over on Tyrael. And we see Axon is once again on Tassadar. So comfortable on those champions that worked for them, and if it ain't broke, why try to fix it? We see Skygum going over to take a little sip of the mana. And the temples will be activating soon in the mid and top. No one in any big hurry to get up there. Currently Brightwing leaning against Sonya up in the top lane, and actually Retor coming out on top at the moment as far as the health bars go. McNulty taking early control of that temple, getting a couple of bullets down, but Magnetic and Tay now chasing him off and taking control of that themselves. No one yet quite able to capture that top one, as Retor and Real Rad Dad just kind of fight over it, but Retor amazingly doing it really well in that solo lane against the Sonya. Perhaps not amazingly, but I find it kind of funny to watch this little butterfly creature out fighting a warrior princess with two giant weapons. But obviously this fairy dragon much more powerful than she appears. In that mid one, nice grab by Magnetic, pulling two people in. Health bars are quite low on the side of Reality, so they're going to have to just back away, ceding control of that shrine to 2+2. Brightwing now coming in to join them. All 5 members of the blue team here going in and getting a nice stun onto Magnetic. Nice boost him back into the team. However, he just keeps getting fixed right back up again. And actually, in the meantime, Tyrael went down and Greymane then paid for it. So 1-for-1 exchange. Real Rad Dad taking control of that top temple. All right. The excitement in this match. So far, the advantage, as far as these bullets goes, I would say certainly on the side of 2+2. They got most of that middle one and most of that top one as well. So, first laser tower phase over now, and Real Rad Dad trying to get back at Retor here, saying, "I'm not afraid of you, man. I'll chop you. I'll chop you." But Retor doesn't really care. Lot of minions on the side of Real Rad Dad there, so maybe we'll be able to get that top turret down. Looks like that'll go down. Bottom lane, Siege Camp gets picked up by 2+2. And a matching one picked up as well by Reality. So we're going to see people throwing stones all over the place. It's a good thing no one here lives in a glass house. Skygum and Tithel now taking down these Siege Giants. Looks like the blue mercenaries will outlive the red ones. Up top, these health bars are quite low, and it looks like Magnetic here wants to try to get something done, but a preemptive polymorph just shuts that whole play down in its tracks. Tay now, soaking mid lane by himself. Sometimes you just gotta hammer some fools. Reality, 2+2 doing a nice job keeping these mercenaries alive. Looks like they're gonna get some nice damage down onto these bottom structures. We'll see if they can even take the fort. Only 2 here to defend on the side of Reality. And the Giants are being abandoned. Matt407 sees an opportunity, goes in and just starts slicing them up. Annoying little shield from Tassadar to protect that Siege Giant a few seconds longer, but not quite enough to save its life. Tay and McNulty just hammering each other back and forth. No one doing too much damage to the other. Not exactly what those heroes are for. And Temple's going to be activating down on the bottom side, but actually, nice kill top lane. Real Rad Dad and Magnetic finally getting the kill onto that Brightwing. Gotta feel good after the back and forth that's been going on between Real Rad... Is that a... Got a weird little graphical bug. It looks like Real Rad Dad still has a grappling hook attached to the top of the map. It'd be cool if she could actually activate it. Alright, anyway, Temple Big brawl. Skygum very low on Vala. Brightwing comes in to save the day. Tay now kind of stuck in the middle of a bunch of things. Health bar is getting fairly low. Teams up with his team. Lots of solidarity here on the side of the red team. Tyval getting into the middle. Health bar is getting very low on the red side. Still fairly high on the blue side. Looks like it's going to be a retreat for Reality Esports. Raytor jumps right into the middle, or actually was pushed into the middle. Somehow still alive in the middle of all that madness. Infofox getting very low now. Tassadar saying, I'm here, you can't get out this way. Looks like things might actually be going in the favor of Reality. McNulty fairly low. Can the material get anything done with that explosion? Does manage to get the Uther, looks like. Still a couple of people alive here. 3 on 2. Axon has popped that Archon, stasising around, trying to get as much damage out as possible, but the sustain on the part of Reality is just too much. Infofox doing a good job keeping people alive, but I don't know if it's going to be able to stay that way. Matt getting very low. Magnetic very low. Everybody just walking out of there somehow. In all the midst of that, level 10 was actually picked up by 2+2. But it's going to be matched in just a second from Reality. So a lot of action there. Not actually that many kills.
The magic of the
but 2+2 does actually manage to get at least the last few bullets out of that. I think they got most of them. But they didn't get them all. All right. Still a fairly close game here. We see 1 level up for 2+2 at the moment. 2+2 obviously in the driver's seat as far as this match goes. If they win this one, they get 3 points. Reality playing only for 1 point right now. Once again, the red Siege Giants just wiped out very quickly, and the blue ones are still alive. So this bottom lane pressure certainly has been going in the favor of 2+2. That fort already down. We'll see how far these Siege Giants make it. Tyval deciding to just clear the way, chop away at some of these minions here, get some of this XP, as his buddies put some pressure in the mid lane, but don't really get a whole lot accomplished. Raytor and McNulty deciding to get that top mercenary camp. These guys have sweet outfits. Can I just say that? I mean, look at these guys. How can you even fight them? I don't know. I think those guys just look too cool to get into a fight with, but I guess that's just what they respect. So we see now that Real Rad Dad and Raytor really have been spending a lot of time in this top lane. Tyval decides to come in with a stage dive right onto Real Rad Dad's head, but it doesn't really do a lot as the Sonya just kind of leaps out, and that's the end of that. So let's take a look at the heroic. Sanctification has been picked up by Tyrael. He will be able to protect his team from damage as long as they're fighting on top of it. Wow. While all this was going on, there's a boss attempt happening over here. Already down below 50% health, but we're not really sure who's going to be able to take advantage of this. All 5 members are here for both teams. While this is happening, blue mercenaries are pushing top, so that's kind of good for 2+2. Magnetic throws Axon into the enemy team. However, that is the Tassadar, so he should be able to get out. Nice stuns going down in the middle there. Health bar is getting extremely low. Real Rad Dad stunned. Killed. Magnetic now about to go down. Matt 407, Tay very low. Skygam stays alive. Tassadar with the shield there. So they get the boss. They get 4 kills. We'll see if they can make it 5. I don't know if Infofox is going to be able to get out of that alive. And does not. So that is a full team wipe. 2+2. Wiping Reality off of the map. Grabbing the boss. This is a huge momentum swing in this game. Level 13 talents obviously also picked up. How far is this boss going to get? Skygum is escorting that boss into the enemy keep wall. Brightwing and ETC respectively grabbing turrets. Those lasers are starting to fire already, and that mercenary camp is still alive up top. Extremely great map pressure on the part of 2+2 here, really putting Reality back onto their heels. It's maybe a fight that Reality shouldn't have taken around that boss. They got a nice throw early on onto the Tassadar, but not a target that's very easy to take down. So the boss actually does not manage to take out that keep. The lasers, though, probably will fairly soon. And there's a contest now happening over this top mercenary camp. Real Rad Dad jumping in onto Raytor, who pops the ice block, staying alive for just a moment. Real Rad Dad getting very low. Whirlwind keeping her alive. Garrosh does go down, though, and now Matt 407 deciding to try to get someone low with his last breath, but it's not enough. He drops. Uther drops. Infofox about to go down as well, and this is Is this going to be another team wipe? Oh my goodness. Infofox just getting bounced around by Tidal. Brightwing now joining the fray. Real Rad Dad is just going to have to walk away. So this game really has turned quickly. 2+2 deciding to just go straight at the core right now. We're going to have members respawning fairly quickly. We'll see if they can do anything about this. Real Red Dad and Magnetic, the only two alive, now being joined by Matt47 and Tay. But that core is dropping extremely fast. Already down below 30%. Raytor getting very low, blinks away. Skygum goes down. Raytor goes down, but the core goes down. And that is game 2 going over to 2+2. So that is a 2-0 victory for 2+2 over Reality Esports. Really dominating win there. You know, it seemed like the game was fairly close early on, but 2+2 really good at taking advantage of advantages. And what I mean by that is, as soon as they were able to wipe the enemy team, they got so much out of it. They got a boss. They got both laser turrets. They then got a keep. Then they went to get a mercenary camp, and Reality decided to fight them, and 2+2 took advantage of that situation as well, deciding to attack, wipe them out once again, and go straight for the core. So a very quick game there, just under 11 minutes. Smooth victory for 2+2 Esports, keeping them solidly at the top of the standings. Now sitting at 15 points. They have won 5 of their matches and lost only 1 and drawn 0. So well done to 2+2. Well played by Reality Esports. That is going to be it for tonight's broadcast. This has been Bludgeon. Thank you for watching. Thanks for playing. We'll see you next time on the Nexus Gaming Series. Good night.